Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your boy Dalyxman's very first Q&A corner of 2017. Thank you all to the people who submitted their questions on Facebook and to those who are going to submit their questions in the live chat and also Twitter, by the way. This is going to be fun. I have a ton of questions to get through. I don't want to waste any time. You know how this works. Every Friday, I answer your questions in as much time as I can. Before we get into anything, like the video, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, everything down below in the description box. The t-shirt will be coming soon, as well as donating to my Patreon. Not Patreon, that's PayPal. That used to be Patreon there, excuse me. Donating to my PayPal if you would like to contribute to help me get a green screen and other stuff. Everything will be going to the channel. You don't have to. It is only through donations. With that said, let's get right into the Q&A. First question here on the list is the title of the video. Your thoughts on the return of Kassius Ohno, a.k.a. Chris Hero, to the WWE NXT. Well, I'm happy for Chris Hero. I'm happy to see him back in WWE. I'm happy to see him get a second shot at making it big in the company. I think he's going to do great. I think this is the perfect time for him to come in. If he was to come in, or he was to have stayed during the time where we had Sami Zayn, Neville, Kevin Owens, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, all those other awesome talent working on NXT. I think he would have done fine. I think he would have bolted well, actually. But for me, if he ever is going to come back, it is now. NXT, in my personal opinion, is still kind of suffering from the draft. It lost a lot of people, not just to the draft, but also the injury. I'm talking people like Sami Zayn, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass, Neville. Well, Neville went up last year, but you know, it lost a lot of people regardless. Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax. I'd be here all day. American Alpha. It just, a lot of people left to go to NXT. And we also lost Austin Aries and Hideo Itami to injury. So there aren't a lot of bodies on NXT that are well known. So a lot of the talents on there are fresh, new talent that they have to build up. And we're currently in that stage of building up and making new talent. And this is the perfect time for Kassius Ohno to return, to really get some much-needed star power back into the show. So I'm happy to see him back. What he'll do, we will see. I heard that he made his return getting in the face of Shinsuke Nakamura. That might be a match we will see before Shinsuke moves up. It might be for the NXT Championship even. So absolutely, I am happy to see him back. I hope that he stays this time. I don't know the story. Well, I know of the story of why he got released. Something along the lines of he wasn't in shape, or they told him to get in shape and he didn't. So that got him released or fired. And apparently he's back. So let's see how it works. He looks to be in better shape than how he was when he left. Or maybe they just decided, you know what? It's not worth it. Let's bring him back because we need him on NXT. So we'll see how it works. I want to see him do very well for, NXT. So that's the first question. Thank you for that. Chris Hero back in the WWE. Next up. Do you know about WrestleMania 34 and it being in New Orleans next year? What are your thoughts? Yes, I do know about New Orleans having WrestleMania 34. And you know what? I honestly think it's a little too close to WrestleMania 30 for it to be going back to New Orleans. It makes me wonder, we really couldn't bring it anywhere else? I know Houston is getting Survivor Series this year in 2017, so I'm not complaining about it not being here, but still, like, well, it was in Dallas last year, so maybe that's why we can't go back to Texas. Still, I mean, there's a lot of places we could have gone. When was the last time we went to Miami? WrestleMania 28, right? Could go back to Miami. Los Angeles, I know they go there for SummerSlam. Well, they used to go there every single year. You know, it'd be nice if we went there. Hollywood WrestleMania again. Why not? I don't know. It just kind of feels like, to me personally, it's a little too close to WrestleMania 30 for them to go back to New Orleans. But it is what it is. Good on New Orleans. I hope you guys show up and become a great crowd for that show. One question that was asked before and wasn't asked tonight is, should WrestleMania be in London one year? And here's my question. You know, during this time when WWE is expanding and trying to go global with the network and all that, here's my thing. Why not explore WrestleMania in different countries? I would love for one year WrestleMania to be in London. I mean, yeah, the time zone difference will make it harder for us to see it live. Like for us, I think we would have to see it earlier during the day. But to me, that's still all right. Hell, you know, screw it. Risk it. What do you got to lose? You have the network, right? And my thing is, you're at a liberty at this point in time in your company's career. This is probably the best time to do it. Why not? I would love to see WrestleMania in Japan. Man, with New Japan and how well they did over there, I wouldn't be shocked if WWE decided to, you know, try to take over the market. You know what I'm saying? So we can have a big discussion about WrestleMania and where it should be. But to answer your question, you know, it is what it is. Just as long as it's a good show, I really don't care where it is. But I do want them to, you know, dip their foot into different waters in the near future, if that makes sense. Let's see here. What match do you think is the greatest match of all time? Well, I'm biased on this one because I was there live. WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. It is, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, and therefore should be the greatest match of all time. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you just went, no, Dalyxman, the greatest match of all time is Okada versus Omega. Apparently, based off of Dave Meltzer. And the question is on here, by the way. Let me find it real quick. I bet you it's on here. Well, let me look for it while I answer your question. I can multitask. But that, to me, is the greatest match of all time because I was there live. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Top 5 on anybody's list, absolutely. And they had a clinic. You know, the story was right. Shawn Michaels had the Undertaker's number. Taker never beat Shawn Michaels up to that point. It was for the streak. And you really thought if there was anybody that was going to beat the streak, it would beat Shawn Michaels. Because that was the only thing he could not do and was not able to do. He was world champion. He was IC champion. He was European champion. He was tag team champions. He was Royal Rumble winner, main event at WrestleMania, beat the greats, pretty much all of them except The Rock. So if there was anybody that was going to beat Undertaker, it was going to be him. And the match on top of that was a 5-star classic. I don't even know why Dave Meltzer didn't give it 5 stars. Something's wrong with him. You won't give that match 5 stars. Of all matches not to give 5 stars. I don't know, man. I don't think anybody asked the question. Well, the question I was looking for was, do I think Okada versus Omega deserved 6 stars? Well, the answer to that question is definitely a 5-star match. I don't think it broke the scale. Like, would I put that over every match I've seen before? I don't know. It really depends on time. I think it's a little too early to say it broke the scale. Don't you think? Nobody asked that question, so I'm going to answer it now. I wouldn't give it 6 stars. I would have given it the highest rating on the scale. It's 5 stars. Absolutely. I wouldn't even think about giving that match anything lower than 5 stars. It deserved the highest rating on the scale. But did it break the scale? I don't know. Time will tell. This is tying back into him asking me Taker versus Shawn Michaels and why I think it's the greatest match of all time, because that was the question. But anyways, thanks for the question. Can I get a birthday shout out? Sure. Shout out to Michael T. Lawson. Michael T. Lawson, 24 years old. Happy birthday, man. Hope you go out. You're 24. That means you're legal. You may go out and party. Don't party too hard. Don't hurt yourself. But there you go, Markle. Hope you're watching my videos. And if you are, I hope you're commenting, liking, and subscribed. Because you are why I do what I do. But happy birthday to you. How cool would it be if Triple H was the head writer of Raw? Raw would instantly be better. 10 times better than what it is. And it would be 2 hours. So it would be pretty much the saving grace of Raw, because Raw sucks. I don't care how much they're making. $173 million doesn't make up for the fact that the show sucks. It really doesn't. Should Baron Corbin be a WWE champion in 2017? I'm going to be real with you. I wouldn't be mad at it. I've always liked Corbin. I've always felt the issue with Corbin, and this is how I feel, is that sometimes I feel like he's very underrated. He's becoming one of those wrestlers that don't get a lot of praise, but deserves a lot of praise because he's a really good in-ring worker. And people don't really give him credit because, well, he didn't start in the business. He was a football player, and then he joined NXT, and now we're supposed to believe that he paid his dues. Well, here's my thing. The Rock, you know, when he first came into WWE, did he necessarily pay his dues? Well, yeah, he did. He went to school. But he went to school for like 3 months. He didn't stay that long. I'm not saying everybody is The Rock, but there are instances where I go, look, if he can work a good match, if he has a good personality that's engaging, if he can work the role that he's given very well, and he can create a nice story to where I want to watch the show he's on, I don't care how long he's been in the business. Sure. And Baron Corbin is one of those guys where I go, I don't mind seeing him. I like watching his matches. So if they ever was to make him a WWE champion, why complain? In 2017, though, might be a little early. We'll have to see if they give him the belt. I can't really say I will be like, oh my God, I'm happy he got the belt. But we'll have to see how that works. I do think he will be one in the future. Absolutely. Do I think he won that belt in the future? Yeah. At the trajectory that he's going right now, if he continues to continue being awesome, yes, he will be a world champion. He should be a world champion. Is the Ultimate Warrior considered one of the greatest of all time? Absolutely. I go back to when I first started watching wrestling, and I know a lot of you know my first match that I've watched, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who I consider two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. My dad was a fan of wrestling before I was. And the two people that he liked, Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino. Those are the two, like, and why wouldn't it be? Like, he used to watch wrestling back in the day. You would think of those two big names. But he also mentioned another guy. That was the Ultimate Warrior. And he used to tell me of all the crazy stuff he would do. Get into the ring and shake the ropes. Ultimate Warrior! And the face paint, the mullet. It was just, this is craziness. The bad thing about Ultimate Warrior is my first experience with him was that Self-Destruction of Ultimate Warrior DVD. No, actually, I lied. My first experience of the Ultimate Warrior was Hogan versus Warrior at Halloween Havoc, 1998. So I've already not had the best experience with the Ultimate Warrior. I had to go back when I was older in my 20s to really appreciate him. I do think he is one of the greatest of all time. It's kind of hard not to say he is. He had one of the biggest WrestleMania main events at WrestleMania 6 against Hogan. One of the best IC champions. Had some really good feuds with Ravishing Rick Rude, Hogan, like I said, Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 7. Just a lot of great things with Warrior. I would dare say if it wasn't for Warrior, we wouldn't see some of the legends and greats that we've gotten over the last decade. So absolutely, I do think Warrior is one of the greatest of all time. Top 10, arguably. Top 20, absolutely. So there you go. Next question. As soon as I get it up. All right. Who do you think Roman Reigns is going to face at WrestleMania 33? Well, based off reports, it looks like it's going to be Braun Strowman. And honestly, if Roman Reigns does beat Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble, which honestly, at this point, I would not be shocked if it happened. But like I said, is going to beat Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. More than likely, his opponent will be Braun Strowman. Hell, for all I know, it still will be Braun Strowman if he's U.S. champion. Tell you what, that's who it's going to be, Braun Strowman. And I hope Braun beats him. I hope the temptation to have Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman is not there, because I'm going to be real with you. There's more investment in Braun Strowman than there is Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. Unless they turn Roman Reigns heel, there is nothing else for him. You've already given him the main event. You've already given him the main event of WrestleMania. He's already won the Royal Rumble. And he's still not over. There is nothing else. There is nothing else you can do at Roman Reigns to really get him out of this rut. I'm just saying. Well, let's see here. Who do you really see Kurt Angle wrestling at WrestleMania, assuming that he returns to WWE? Cesaro. Oh, the more I say it, the more I love that match. Cesaro versus Kurt freaking Angle. Damn, man. I love it. They can always do Angle and AJ again. I would love that. Ziggler and Angle. Absolutely. We've already seen Cena and Angle. We haven't seen Rollins and Angle. Would love to see that match. Would love to see. Oh, shoot, I can go on forever. Let's see, so many people I can choose from. Joe and Angle. We've already seen Joe and Angle. So that would be awesome to do again. Absolutely. I'm going to NXT now. Nakamura and Angle. Let's go. Neville and Angle. That would be an interesting match. Just so many people we can do with Angle. All right, let's see. But yeah, if I was to pick one, Cesaro and Angle, without question. Do you think Chris Jericho is going to turn babyface around WrestleMania 33? If he fights Kevin Owens, I do think Jericho will be the babyface in that feud. And if it does end up happening that way, hopefully it's for the U.S. Championship. It might not be. It'll just probably be a match at WrestleMania. We'll see how that works. Man. Owens and Jericho. I guess the reason I'm not so excited about the match now is because they've jobbed WWE, being they. WWE has jobbed them out to Roman Reigns so much over the last month or so that they don't even feel legit. They have completely killed Owens' fire. He doesn't even feel important. He's doing his best to, be entertaining on the microphone. He always is entertaining on the microphone. But I don't even take him seriously anymore. I'm so sick of him being jobbed out to Roman Reigns. And they might do it again on Monday because we're doing a handicap match with Owens and Jericho taking on Roman Reigns for the U.S. Championship. Like, how many times do we have to see this match before the Royal Rumble? Jesus Christ. Someone even asked that question in the chat. Are you excited about Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens and Jericho on Raw? No, I'm not. Because I'm tired of seeing that match. And the more they do that match, the more I'm going to be sick of it when the Royal Rumble comes. But, Raw doesn't give a shit because we're making $173 million, so it doesn't matter how bad our show is. I'm still pissed off about that interview, by the way. If you could book a match with any two wrestlers from any promotion, who would it be? Let's see here. Going through all the promotions. You know what? I'm going to go with the easy one. Matanza from Lucha Underground versus Brock Lesnar. That would be the match of all matches, and we'll all die because the world would end with that match. But yeah, that's the match I would definitely do. Here's an idea about WrestleMania 34. As it's New Orleans again, you think it will tell the end of Brock Lesnar's story in WWE as he beat the streak in that arena, and he will truly be beaten, and his career ends in that arena. So basically what you're saying is we bring it full circle with Lesnar and Taker beats Lesnar back in that arena. Or maybe not Taker, but Brock Lesnar loses to somebody on the main roster, someone that's new, someone that's fresh coming up, and then he ends his career at WrestleMania 34. Well, here's a crazy thing. Lesnar's contract expires at WrestleMania 34. You don't know that, but it does. It expires at WrestleMania 34. And he might not, just might not, sign on again. He doesn't have to. He's basically done it all at this point. So if he doesn't sign on again, that will be his last WrestleMania. He could still sign a new contract. They might throw more money at him. And you know how this works with Lesnar. If you pay him, he'll show up. He doesn't do much anyways. They're literally paying him to show up and stand still. And he's one of the biggest attractions, if not the biggest attraction in WWE. So, I guess, to me, if Taker's going to end his career, if Taker is going to end his career, honestly, it should be this year against John Cena in a career match. That's just my thoughts on it. Do you see anyone new becoming world champion in 2017? I see a lot of people new becoming world champion. Cesaro better at least get a shot, but he's won. Bray Wyatt is someone I also want to see become champion. Samoa Joe is someone definitely I want to see become champion. It's not that I can't think of anybody else. It's just so many. Sami Zayn is someone I can see becoming champion. I wouldn't be shocked if they put that belt on Goldberg, but he's not new. Technically he is, but he's not. He's new to the audience that's watching WWE now, but he's been world champion before. So I can't say Finn Balor because he's already been world champion. So say looking at SmackDown, can't say Ziggler because Ziggler has already been world champion. I don't know. Well, those guys I named would be good. Do you see a future return to WWE for Cody Rhodes, or just Cody now because WWE just let him use his full name, although he is the son of Dusty Rhodes? Stupid. Maybe one day, not anytime soon. I don't see Cody touching WWE until like maybe 2020, especially right now. He's having a great career in ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling as the American Nightmare. And I see him, if there is anybody that I see winning both the world championships in both ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's Cody Rhodes. Cody, definitely. And that's my prediction. I do think Cody will become both ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling world champion in the future. Double champion. Watch. I'm putting money on that. If AJ Styles and John Cena fought for the championship at WrestleMania 33, what stipulation would you give to make the match even better? Ooh, that's a good one. Let's go Iron Man. Let's go. Let's go freaking Iron Man with AJ and Cena. That's what I would do. And I would have them close the show too. That would be a classic match at WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on the report that Shane McMahon actually has some say in creative direction on SmackDown? It wouldn't shock me because SmackDown is superiorly better than Raw. And when you have a writer like Ryan Ward used to write for NXT before he came to the main roster. And when he was on NXT, there was nothing that could touch. There was nothing that could touch NXT. Now that he's writing for SmackDown, there is nothing that can touch SmackDown. Even NXT isn't comparing to SmackDown on a weekly basis. But it wouldn't shock me if Shane McMahon had creative control or creative direction for that show, because it's kicking Raw's ass. Not even joking you. Have you heard what Jonathan Coachman said about the possibility of Ronda Rousey coming to WWE, and do you agree with it? Here's my thing about Ronda Rousey, especially after that loss, that embarrassing loss she had against Amanda Nunes. Man, it would be a bad idea, and I mean a bad idea, if they brought her in now. If you brought her in now during this time where she basically is a broken star, you will not get a good benefit from it. That's basically WWE trying to get sloppy seconds off of UFC. I think they should wait. In the future, you know what? Why not? I say around WrestleMania next year, after people have forgotten about her, after we've let the bad taste of her losses, not the first one against Holly Holmes, but this one as well, we let those losses settle. She comes back rejuvenated. Bring her back, and we can do the whole Ronda Rousey wants to be a women's champion, and she can fight Sasha Banks. I'm not even kidding you. She could fight Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. I wouldn't be shocked if that's something they want to do in the near future. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we can do Ronda Rousey in the future, but not now. I honestly would be, I won't be pissed off, but I'll be annoyed if Ronda Rousey is signed on for WrestleMania, and they might even give her a women's championship shot. Okay, that will piss me off. If you sign her on and then give her a shot at Charlotte's belt, I will be pissed off. This soon, no. And don't bring in some megastar on the outside to fight Charlotte and take that belt away from her because you want numbers. Don't do that. Build new stars. Yeah, Ronda will bring the numbers for that night and that night only. And then when she leaves, they will not stay. Do it next year after you've established some names, after Bayley has become women's champion, after Sasha has turned heel and has had a legit run with that belt, and then she fights Ronda next year for WrestleMania. Let's go. It would be a great idea then, but don't do it now. And then use Charlotte's streak that she's built up as a, and then they've played it up like big time, like the only women's wrestler, or the only wrestler period to go 20-0 at a pay-per-view. Why would you give that to Ronda Rousey? Like, seriously, come on. Be smart about this. So, yeah, that's what I think about Ronda Rousey. Who will be the one to dethrone Asuka? She has no competition right now on NXT. Well, my prediction is that it will be Ember Moon. I've heard that Asuka and Ember Moon have had amazing matches on the live events. And I haven't seen it, but I do think when those two have that match, I do see Ember Moon defeating Asuka. And that would be an amazing match. I think those two could actually have a match that will be on the same level as Bayley and Sasha Banks. Putting money on it. So yeah, Ember Moon is my pick. Will we ever see a WrestleMania in Cleveland, Ohio? We might. Is there a big arena in Cleveland, Ohio we could put them in? Put that WrestleMania in? Because if it is, why not? TNA going on from now. What would you do if you was the boss of TNA? If I was the boss of TNA, I would do what they're doing now. I would revamp everything. Change the logo. I get rid of the name TNA. I don't even want to be associated with TNA. TNA, dead, gone. I would give it a new name. I would basically start over. I mean, like, start from scratch. Whoever was a babyface, whoever was a heel, won't be anything when we start. We're going to let the crowd decide and organically build them under the roles that fit them the most. So we will see. I just think right now, that's the only way they can do business with TNA now, is to start over. And that's just how I see how things should go. Let's see here. Hope you'll answer this one since you missed me the last time I asked. Sorry. Guys, if I miss your question, it's not intentional, okay? I have a lot of questions to get to, and then when I get through all of them, it's been like an hour and 30 minutes or 2 hours, and I get tired, so it ends up happening. It's not intentional, but this guy made it known that you missed my questions. Sorry, man. He gave me 2, so I'll answer both of them. Were there any moments recently, like the last 5, 10 years, that truly gave you goosebumps in a match? 10 years. Yeah. Taker versus Shawn Michaels. Punk versus Cena. Bryan versus Cena. Bryan, WrestleMania 30. Cesaro versus Zayn. Arrival, 2014. Zayn versus Neville. Let's see. I can go on forever. Okada versus Omega. That recently gave me goosebumps. And I like how he said, keep in mind, I said in a match. So that doesn't include things like Bryan's retirement speech. Like, what the hell? I can read your question, dude. Like, it's like default, you're going to go with Bryan. Because that's another thing I don't like about certain people here on the internet or just in the YWC. I don't like saying that term, internet fan. But it gets annoying sometimes that people just paint me as like the obsessed Bryan fan. I'm like, guys, first off, look at the posters behind me. Undertaker, CM Punk. So I don't just like Bryan. I have a Scott Hall signature poster right there. Okay? So I don't just like Bryan. Yeah, Bryan gets his poster right here, but it's not just Bryan. I don't have a shrine for Bryan. Daniel Bryan is the greatest of all time. He's the greatest wrestler in the world. Just relax. Jesus Christ. And I think people who think that are shallow, they're dumb, they're ignorant, and they don't know what they're talking about. See, I'm not the kind of person that likes to talk about people like that. I like to be the nice, supportive, really easygoing guy, but you know, it gets really annoying when people go out of their way to bully and to, you know, make people feel stupid for being a fan of somebody. I have never in my life done that. Yes, I go out of my way to say how much I don't like wrestlers, but I have never intentionally told fans, you are stupid for liking this person. You are dumb. You need to get your head checked for liking this person. I don't care who you like. Now, if you do have a shrine of somebody in your room, it's creepy, but that's you. That's you, man. You go be a creep on your own. But, you know, I hate when people do that. It instantly gets me fired up. And that will be a time where the nice guy thing like me, it goes away and I become that a-hole where I say, you're dumb for thinking that I'm just obsessed with one person. Sorry, that comment sparked something inside of me. I don't think he meant that. But it's just, so what? I'm a fan of Daniel Bryan. I'm also a fan of Shawn Michaels. I'm also a fan of The Undertaker. I'm also a fan of Scott Hall. I'm also a fan of CM Punk and others. It's not just all about Bryan. And people just get mad at me because I support him. Just, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Went on a tirade. For me, seeing Sasha grab the chair when Charlotte put on her figure 8 in the cell, and Sasha just wails on Charlotte in the last-ditch effort, leaving me goosebumps. Oh, okay. So you would give me an example of your question. Was there a match that gave me goosebumps? Well, the ones I just named to you are the ones that gave me goosebumps. And I'm happy that that match gave you goosebumps because people don't give that match a lot of credit. People think that Sasha and Charlotte had a pretty bad Hell in a Cell match. I don't think it was bad. I thought it was good. I think people were just upset that it didn't live up to the expectations that they gave it, that it was actually trying to live up to. And that was WWE's fault, calling it the first ever women's Hell in a Cell. It's going to make history and making history and making history. So, yeah, honestly, I don't know. It is what it is. I thought it was good. So, all right. Wrestle Kingdom 11. How'd you feel about it? Amazing show. Give it an A. One of the best shows I've seen. I think what stopped me from giving it the highest rating on my channel, that first half was kind of meh. Let's be real. Let's call it like it is. Wrestle Kingdom was a very long show, over 5 hours long. The first half was very meh. Very meh. Some good matches, some decent matches. No bad matches per se. Probably the only bad match was that Rumble, but that was meant to be a bad match. They didn't care. It didn't matter. But the first half was just meh. It was all right. But that second half was just like, oh my God, mwah, mwah, amazing. Amazing. But overall, it averaged out to an A. Absolutely. But I wouldn't give it the highest rating on my scale, which is an S. Was there ever a show that got me an S? WrestleMania 17. That to me would definitely be an S show. I've watched that show so many times, and every match in that show was fucking amazing. All right, which wrestlers on Raw should start being pushed in the main event scene with Owens, Jericho, Rollins, and Reigns? Anybody at this point. Seriously. Those are the only guys I see in the freaking main event scene. Push some people. You have a bigger roster than SmackDown. It's the same 4 people, and SmackDown's always giving us different main events. SmackDown has a smaller roster than Raw, and they've had more fresher, newer variety main events than Raw has. And that's sad. Very sad. As a matter of fact, I'll be real with you. Other than Sasha and Charlotte, it's basically been Reigns. It feels like it's been Reigns, man. Reigns and Reigns and Reigns and Reigns. I guess that's why people like Charlotte and Sasha so much, because it's a, not only is it a good feud, by the way, it's something new. God, oh my God, something new. I like it. Thank you. I'll take it. Jesus Christ. Ugh. But yeah, anybody, Cesaro, if I'm going to answer your question, please, Cesaro. And like I said before, if Cesaro doesn't get a shot at the World Championship, excuse me, the Universal Championship, either one would work, doesn't get a shot at some championship this year, he needs to leave. He needs to leave. Don't even waste your time. Do you think the SmackDown tag division needs one more big name to make it relevant? It's already pretty good, but sure, we could add a few more. We can add Revival and definitely add DIY. Oh, those two teams would kill on SmackDown. I would love to see those teams on SmackDown. Who takes the title from Shinsuke Nakamura, and how would you debut them on the main roster? Well, him. Well, no, he said them. So the guy who takes the championship from Nakamura and Nakamura too. Well, I'm going to answer it how you written it. Nakamura would debut in the draft because we had the draft coming up again this year. I would debut him right out of NXT from the draft. Now, the guy I would have beat Shinsuke Nakamura would be Hideo Itami. You know that match has to happen. Before he even moves up to WWE's main roster, we had to do Hideo Itami versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to do that match. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely how I would debut Nakamura. Hideo Itami, I would let him hold that belt probably a year or so, and then debut him, I think, maybe around WrestleMania next year. I want Hideo Itami to have a legit run for that belt on NXT before we move him up. With Kenny Omega announcing his break from Japan Wrestling on Twitter, where do you think this will take him? Well, I mean, people are calling him the greatest wrestler in the world right now because, like, Okada clearly didn't exist in that match. I'm not salty about it. I think Kenny Omega is an amazing wrestler. I've always thought he was an amazing wrestler. It's just when people say he's the greatest wrestler in the world, I'm just like, wait, what about Okada? Okada was amazing too. I think both of them can arguably be in line for best wrestler in the world. To me, Kenny Omega has proven to the world that he can get it done anywhere he wants. And I think Omega at this point wants to weigh his options. Does he stay in New Japan and try to, win that championship and have a run with it? Or use this time when he's young, he's 33. That's not young, but it's still not old. Maybe he wants to try WWE. Why not? I think he would do great. Fabulous in WWE. Excuse me. But in my personal opinion, after having that match with Okada, we need a rematch. There needs to be a rematch. Omega and Okada need to do it one more time. So, yeah, I do think it's good that he's weighing his options. I do think he'll stay in New Japan at the end of it, though. He has said that he wants to go he wants to be, not go, but be the greatest wrestler to never enter WWE. Like, he wants to be basically what Sting was for years before he signed with WWE. And if that's the case, hey, man, all power to you. I wish you the best. Who do you want to main event WrestleMania this year? Well, who I want to main event WrestleMania is AJ Styles. I think he deserves to main event WrestleMania. Who I think is going to main event WrestleMania? Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Because if you put that match on WrestleMania, there is no way in hell nothing is going to outdraw that match. That is the drawing match. I know people are saying Cena and Taker. Again, if Taker's retirement is happening, well, I'll tell you what. If Taker is retiring at WrestleMania, he should close the show. For real. If The Undertaker comes out on Raw this Monday or SmackDown, whenever it happens. I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it happens, when Taker comes out and announces, I am going to retire. When he does that, retire WrestleMania, by the way, everything revolving around that should be closing WrestleMania. Whether he's fighting Cena, more than likely he'll fight Cena. Yeah, absolutely. Taker in his last match at WrestleMania against John Cena. Why complain? Other than that, more than likely, Lesnar and Goldberg will close WrestleMania. What brand could Chris Masters thrive in if he came back? I guess SmackDown. I wouldn't see him doing well on Raw. I don't see anybody doing well on Raw. So yeah, SmackDown. If Paige decides to leave WWE, do you think she'd be better off in Lucha Underground? Sure, I'm pretty sure they would love to have Paige in Lucha Underground. She can go anywhere she wants, honestly. She's still young. Really, other than winning the Women's Championship, there's nothing else for Paige to do. And we had to remember she's 24 years old. So the fact that she's done so much already in WWE at that age, it's kind of like, all right, what now? All right, what do I do now? We have to remember, Paige is still young. She's a kid. Well, she's not a kid, but to me, you're not really an adult until you turn 25. So basically, like me now, adulting is hard. Paige will soon learn that life, but as of right now, she's 24. She's still a kid, guys. So let's see how she works. What do you think they should do with Samoa Joe when he gets called up? Immediately put him in a feud with John Cena. Don't even waste time with it. Have him go after John Cena. See that right there? When I say it out loud, if Cena was to win the belt, that would be the only reason why I would have him win it, so he can drop it to Samoa Joe. My God, that'd be a great feud. Do you think the Bullet Club will turn on Adam Cole if he leaves for WWE, much like they did with AJ Styles? Yes. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked if the guy to do it is Cody Rhodes. I'm putting money on that. Rhodes being ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion at the exact same time. I'm telling you right now. Do you think Bullet Club... Well, I just read that question. Sorry. If you could choose one of these three fictional Raw versus SmackDown matches for WrestleMania, which one would you choose? All right. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Sasha Banks versus Naomi. Oh, that's easy. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins would be instant classic match of the night. And I know some of you are saying, but WWE's wet dream would be Reigns and Cena. Well, here's my thing. If I can get AJ Styles and Rollins, they can have Cena and Reigns. We can have both matches at the exact same time. I'm curious to know why you chose Banks versus Naomi. That would be a really good match, but I would think you would go farther on that. I'm shocked you didn't say Bayley versus Sasha. That's what I thought you was gonna say when I saw Naomi. Jesus. Okay, so there's your answer. AJ versus Seth Rollins. Let's see. Which of these matches would you prefer to see at the Royal Rumble? Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho in the Fatal 4-Way match for both the U.S. and the Universal Championship. First fall goes to the U.S. title. Second fall goes to the Universal Championship. That's good. Or Jericho versus Rollins and Reigns in a tag match for with the first person to score a pinfall winning the Universal title and the U.S. Championships. Oh, snap. Okay. Both of those are pretty good. I'm going to go with the Fatal 4-Way. I think that'll make things a lot more interesting. Funny that I actually predicted or thought they should have done a Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam 2015. I said, and this is going back to during the days where I was actually very passionate, I wanted WWE to do a Fatal 4-Way with Owens, Cesaro, Rollins, and John Cena, where that same stipulation applied. The first fall is for the U.S. Championship, and the second fall is for the World Championship. Oh my God, that match would have been amazing. Amazing. Now he's saying the same thing. Now that match is not bad. They would probably do that match first before they did my match, unfortunately. But that's not a bad idea. What's your full WrestleMania dream card? Kind of hard to say it right now because there's not really much else to do. Most of my favorite matches have already happened, and the ones that I want to happen won't happen. But I might do a WrestleMania video after Royal Rumble, so look for that later on. Last question here on Facebook. Who do you think will be the breakout star? Well, last 2 questions. Who do you think will be the breakout star of 2017? I'm putting money on it. It's going to be Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. Bray freaking Wyatt. This is his year. I'm hoping Bray Wyatt turns babyface, because the moment they turn him babyface, watch out. It is over. It's over. Nobody's going to top him. He will be the hottest act in wrestling, period. Money on it. And the last question is, what superhero film are you mostly excited about in 2017? I can't tell you. It's either between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, or Thor Ragnarok. It's one of those 3. I'm on the fence about Wonder Woman. I'm going to go see it because it's Wonder Woman, but I don't know if that movie's going to be good. And I'm telling you, if Wonder Woman sucks, they need to just go ahead and just cut the DC universe, because it is horrible. It's going bad. They're getting their butts whipped like SmackDown is whooping Raw's, but it's not even funny. But those 3 movies I named you. If I had to choose one, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Top 3 superheroes of all time. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. I think that goes for anybody, though. So, yeah, those are all the Facebook questions. It is time we go to the Twitter. The Twitter questions. The questions on the Twitter. Let's see what we got for Twitter here. Let's see here. Well, there aren't a lot of questions on Twitter. I was hoping to get some questions off Twitter. I can't find any. I'll go to the live chat. All right. No questions on Twitter. Let's go to the live chat. Ladies and gentlemen, live chat questions here. You guys show me your live chat questions. Let's go. Live chat questions. What do you got for me? Let's see here. The Twitter. Have I heard of the Smart Busters? No, I have not heard of the Smart Busters. Quite frankly, I don't really want to watch anybody with the name Smart Busters, because that seems to be someone who lives to, who lives to piss off people. Just because I don't do channels like that. It doesn't entertain me. It's not funny. And I get bored after a while, honestly. It's just like, okay, let me guess what you're going to do. You are going to hate on what we like, basically. All right, let's see here. Is Cody Rhodes still in TNA? I have no idea. I don't watch TNA, so I wouldn't know. I would not know. Let's see here. We seem to be having some problems here. Okay, here we go. All right, questions are coming in now. How would you feel if James Ellsworth won the World Championship? I would die. Because I would be like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? I don't think he should ever win the World Championship. Ever in a million years. There's not someone who should win the World Championship. Do you think Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, wait, don't go away from it. Do you think Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania will be good? Hopefully. Again, their Survivor Series match was good because it was short. Their match at WrestleMania will not be short. So hopefully they can do well in that match. Do you see Karma, aka Awesome Kong, returning to WWE very soon? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe a good time to return because, dang it, NXT needs some more women. They do. Do you see Daniel Bryan going into the Hall of Fame one year? Absolutely. Oh, yeah, he has to. He's won every single thing except the Royal Rumble, but he's main event WrestleMania. He's won all the championships that he could possibly win. He's had some really awesome moments and really awesome matches. It's kind of hard not to put him in the Hall of Fame. And I'm not even talking about his career in WWE. I'm also talking about his career in ROH. his entire career needs to be put on notice in the Hall of Fame. So absolutely future Hall of Famer. Why would he not be? Why is Rusev not on your list for people getting a title shot? Didn't Rusev get a title shot? If he didn't, then absolutely he should get one too. Although Rusev has been booked better. He has been booked better than Cesaro when you really think about it. Maybe not nowadays, but he has been booked better before. Do you watch WCPW? No, and I'm probably not going to catch that anytime soon. Do you think the next wrestling game will be WWE SmackDown Live versus Raw? 2K18. Maybe. I don't play those video games, so I really don't care. What's up, Dalyxman? What's up, man? Will WWE ever do AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins in 2017? And do you think it can possibly be better than Kurt Angle versus HBK that happened in 2005, WrestleMania 21? Well, I do think they will do it in the future. I don't think it will happen here in 2017 unless they draft Rollins or AJ to the show that one of them is on. Then we might see it at SummerSlam, maybe. But even then, I wouldn't do it. I would hold that till WrestleMania. That's a WrestleMania match. I wouldn't have them touched. But knowing WWE, if they were both on Raw, you would see that match every single week. And people would get sick of it because that's how they do things. Let's see here. Don't waste your time on WCPW. Is that bad? Yikes. Thoughts on Kenny Omega's time away in Japan? I already answered the question before. He can do whatever he wants at this point. It's good to weigh your options. Pick one WrestleMania dream match out of the ones that he's given me. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles or Finn Balor versus Ricochet. Let's go Finn Balor versus Ricochet. Because it's a match I've never seen before. Honestly. Do you see Shelton Benjamin returning at the Royal Rumble? If he's healthy, yes. He already said on Twitter that he won't be returning because, you know, he's still recovering from the surgery. I wouldn't be shocked if he made a surprise entrance. Anyways. They always say that, I don't think I'm going to make it, and they show up. So, how would you react if Kurt Angle entered the Royal Rumble? I would lose my mind. I would pop for it because I love the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. See here. Can you do video games? Can you do gaming videos? Excuse me. Hey guys. Don't know what happened there. That was weird. Google Plus just glitched out on me. Let me get everything back up. That's never happened before. It's scary that actually happened to me. It says here, the Google Effects app will no longer work after April 25th. Yikes. Oh, man. You guys still here? I don't know what happened. It was weird. Big glitch. Big glitch. But I'm back. That was weird. Don't know why he cut out on me. But it's all right. We're back. All right, let's finish this up. Do I see Ty Dillinger entering in the Royal Rumble at number 10 because he's the perfect 10? No, not this year, but maybe in the future. Oh, shoot. So a lot of things happened. All right. Here we go. We're back online. That was weird. I don't know what happened with Google Plus. That's never happened before. So let me go ahead and answer a few more and get out of here then. Dalyxman, I have 2 questions for you. Do you have any faith in WWE to deliver a perfect WrestleMania 33 card? No, I do not. Do you see them picking the correct winner for the Royal Rumble? No, I do not. I don't trust WWE doing anything wrong. So that sucks. I love that there's a 10 chant going on in the live chat. I love my audience. I do. I love my audience. Okay. 3 more questions. And then I'm cutting it off because I don't want this to go out again. I don't know what happened. That was weird. I don't know why Google Plus went out on me like that. Let's see here. Would you love to see a match between Conor McGregor and Roman Reigns if McGregor came to WWE, and what stipulation? No, because Roman Reigns would beat McGregor. But I say doing the old-fashioned UFC fight. Just to see Conor beat the living shit out of Roman Reigns. There's still a 10 chant going on. 10, 10, 10, 10. I love that. Keep that going, by the way. I think that's awesome. The perfect 10 versus the Miz. Oh, no, the perfect 20 versus the Miz. Why not? Okay. 2 more. Dalyxman, I can see Gargano and Ciampa breaking up. If this happens, how will they be brought up to the main roster? They'll be brought up as individuals, unfortunately, which is fine. That match definitely would close an NXT special and be a match of the year candidate if it did happen. All right, last question. Who do you think AJ Styles will face at WrestleMania if he's still the champion? Samoa Joe. Absolutely Samoa Joe. Although, if I had it my way, one last time, baby, the showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, the headliner, the main event, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. If I had it my way. Not going to happen, but Joe versus AJ would be the match I would go with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for having the time and taking the time to come watch me on this Friday night do a live Q&A. And I will continue doing this as much as I can before these streams cut out because that was creepy. But as always, thank you for joining me, guys. Leave your thoughts down below about the questions that were answered. How do you feel about Chris Hero returning to WWE and everything else I said? Ronda Rousey, you tell me down below in the comments. Follow us here. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Like the video, share it, and subscribe. Donate to PayPal and all that, guys. I will see you at my next video, which will be whenever it is, whatever it is. It is your boy, Dalyxman, signing off. Thank you guys for being awesome. You guys take it easy. Peace out.